Here in upstate New York, we are directly in the path of Hurricane Sandy. We have a whole slew of warnings out, and we're in a state of emergency right now, so I am preparing for the storm. Today we cleared gutters, trimmed perennials, cleaned out the basement a little bit, so in terms of the tortoises, everything is good. They are up high enough in the basement, and if we do flood, that's where we'll expect it to happen. A few inches of rain or more are called for, in addition to 75-mile-an-hour gusts, so obviously this storm is something to be concerned about here. But we've prepared as best we can. We purchased a generator, have plenty of water and supplies, but one area that people definitely have to concern themselves with in a storm is with pets. Especially aquariums. So that's what I wanted to focus on a little bit in this video, and what I've done for my aquariums. Within the past couple of days, I've done water changes in both, and that's something, before you have a risk of losing power, you really want to take into consideration. Water becomes dirty quickly when filters and pumps are shut off due to power outages, so you want to make sure that you're going into a storm or a risk of a power outage with clean aquarium water. So if you have the opportunity to look ahead and do some cleaning, it's always a good idea. So I've done water changes in both of my aquariums. I've made sure that the filters are clean and that things are running as efficiently as possible before we may lose power. I've also made sure my water is up to temperature, because if you're having a power outage risk, the aquariums can lose heat pretty quickly, and both of my tanks do require a warm enough temperature. Now, fish can live for some time without food and in cooler water, even your tropical fish, so you don't need to be as concerned as some people become, but it's a good idea to keep your tanks prepared before a storm moves in. Once a storm moves in, you want to keep your aquarium closed, keep the heat in, keep the water as clean as possible, so you don't want to be going into the aquarium to straighten anything or to check on your fish. Trust that they will be okay. Now, if your power outage extends for a few days, you may need to think about doing some water changes just to keep the water quality clean, but don't start doing that immediately. See if you can't keep the water as warm and clean as possible and keep the tank self-contained. Now, another option, and what I purchased in preparation for this storm, is a battery-operated air pump. So this one is made by Topfin. I spent $10 on it, and I purchased this a good 4 days ago now, and it was the last one on the shelf. People are preparing for storms. So you want to purchase a battery-operated air pump in advance, because if you go out the day before a storm has happened, you might be out of luck. It's not an item that's kept well stocked. They aren't entirely popular, and really the only use for them is during a storm when the main pumps fail. So the battery-operated pump, this particular model, runs on D batteries, and it keeps your water oxygenated, because the fish will use up the oxygen supply in the water rather quickly without the filters moving the water through the aquarium. So I'm planning on transferring the pump through the tanks as needed if the power does go out. Also, I'm fortunate enough to have a generator that I do have access to, so I won't be able to keep the aquariums on generator power through the storm and through its duration, but I can switch the filters on for an hour at a time just to clean the water out. But it is a good idea to be prepared with generators, with the equipment you might need, like a battery-operated air pump, and to have your aquarium clean and warm before the power outage risk is imminent. So look ahead and try and be prepared. That's what we've done in all aspects of our home today. We've made sure that all the pets are ready to weather the storm, and that we are as well. So for any of you in the path of Hurricane Sandy, I hope that you are safe and that you have found this helpful in getting your aquariums ready to weather a storm and a power outage.